So I've been struggling a little bit with creating book lists because I know a lot of you do not have access to books, and some of you are able to do ebooks, but coming to a library and just having a choice is not available right now. And so what I decided to do was to highlight some of the new books we've gotten in the library. We actually got an order right before all this started. I'm going to highlight some of these books and give you the chance to email me if you want to put one on hold for when we get back to school, or you can just make a list in your student planner so that when we do get back, you know which books you'd like to check out. So the first one is Disenchanted, The Trials of Cinderella. And this is part of like a Fractured Fairy Tales type, which are my favorite. I love retelling of story tales. And we also have, the same author did one about Rapunzel called Grounded. But this one is The Trials of Cinderella, and it looks just great. I love these. I might take this one home and read it over this quarantine time because I do love a good retelling of a story, of a fairy tale. I got two books and part of the Star Wars series. This one called Force Collector, which is part of the Rise of Skywalker series. And it is about Carr, a teenage boy living in the galaxy. When he touches certain objects, he gets searing headaches and black out. And sometimes, along with the pain, comes visions of people he doesn't know in places he's never been. I think that probably this is going to have, because it's called the Force Collector, he's force sensitive, and all those objects he touched has something to do with the Force. That's my theory. I'm sure that that's correct. If any of you have read this, let me know. If not, add it to your list. The next one is Most Wanted, which goes along with the Solo movie, which I loved. I know there were so many people who did not like the Han Solo movie. I loved it. I thought it was a great heist movie. It didn't necessarily need to have those characters in it, but God, there are twists and turns and lots of action. This is a great movie, and this book goes along with that. It is about Han and Kira, and I think how they met and how they got into their criminal exploits. Okay, All the Right Places. This one is new to the library, but it's an older book. The reason I bought it is because it's a Netflix show right now, a movie, All the Right Places. This one is definitely more young adult, so like 8th grade, later 7th grade, this would kind of be the book for you to read. I think it's one of the reasons it's young adult is because it deals with suicide, and so it's kind of a heavy book for some kids don't want to read about that stuff, and some kids' parents don't want them to read about that stuff, but I think that's what this has to do with. I haven't read it. I've heard awesome things, so I'm going to have to try this one too. Just so you know, most books I buy for the library, I want to read as well. And this is a new series by James Riley called The Revenge of Magic. This isn't a new book. I think it was out a couple years ago, and I actually believe that I've bought the first book, Revenge of Magic, and the second book in this series, both for the library. I'll have to look. But James Riley also wrote all of these, Half Upon a Time, and then the Story Thieves series, which are all popular within the library. So I'm imagining this one is going to be just as good of a book. 13 years ago, books of magic were discovered in various sites around the world alongside the bones of dragons. I love a good dragon book. Only those born after Discovery Day have the power to use the magic. Now on vacation in Washington, D.C., Fort Fitzgerald's father is lost when a giant creature bursts through the earth, attacking the city. Fort is devastated until an opportunity for justice arrives 6 months later, when a man named Dr. Ops invites Fort to a government-run school to learn magic from those same books. Oh, so I mean, fantasy, dragons, magic, modern, what can't go wrong with this book? So there's 5 of the books that we've added to the library collection. If any of those interest you, write them down or leave a comment on the video and let me know. See you soon.